Hi, this is Joseph. In this video, I wanted to talk quickly about my refund policy. This is a question that I get quite a bit from prospective subscribers. They ask if I offer some kind of a refund if I don't pass the challenge. So the first thing is that I want to remind you that if you're going to use my trade copier service, one of the best prop firms out there that I recommend using with my trade copier service is Lark Funding. I've made several videos on my YouTube channel about Lark Funding. I believe that they're one of the best when it comes to using a trade copier to copy trades from another trader. So sometimes people, traders, they'll join a chat room or they'll join a signal service or they just get a copy trader system that's copying trades from somebody, whether it's a live, real human that's actually trading and executing those trades, or if it's a black box automated system. So either way, you want to make sure that if you are using a trade copier to copy somebody else's trades other than your own, you want to make sure that that funding company allows the use of the trade copier in that way, in that manner, that they do understand and allow you to copy trades from another trader. And Lark Funding is the one that I always recommend because they've told us over and over and over again that they have no problem with it. The only thing they don't want is high frequency type trading. And I understand that. I completely get that. I've learned more and more about why these funding companies don't want that. It doesn't really matter to you, the individual. Just the only thing that you need to be concerned with is will the funding company allow you to use the trade copier to copy somebody else's trades? Now, at some point, the company, Lark Funding included, they could change their minds. I have no control over that. But I just want you to know that that's the first step is that make sure you're using a company that will allow you to copy trades from another trader, and Lark Funding will. Now, as far as blowing up the account, that's the next thing I want to talk about is that I don't blow up accounts myself. Like I have funded accounts with all of these funding companies. And in my position, because I'm copying my own trades from one account to another, I can still use some of the other funding companies that don't allow another individual to copy trades from another trader. May not sound fair. Again, I don't have any control over it. It's just that if they can see that I'm copying trades from myself consistently, that I do it in a certain way, that's what they're looking for, then they tend to leave me alone. But again, if it's like when I mention a chat room, if all of the accounts, let's say 50 accounts on their system, all open up trades at the same time, they can tell that those people are probably copying trades from somebody. So just keep that in mind. That's why we want to make sure that we use Lark Funding. Now, I don't blow up any of my prop firm accounts. I'm not interested in doing that. And the reason I say that is not because I'm not trying to say that I'm better than anybody else. All I'm trying to say is that my method, my strategy for trading is that I only want to buy a funding challenge once and then uh, keep and maintain that account or roll it over into a larger account. So I've talked about on my YouTube channel how you can use multiple accounts. You can get like two accounts from one company and add them to my trade copier service and then pass those accounts simultaneously. And then you can take the payouts and then buy a bigger size account. That's a good strategy. Or you can just start off with one account if that's all your budget allows. There's nothing wrong with that. It's great. Start off with one account, copy my trades, pass your evaluation, take the payout, and then buy the next size trading account larger, whatever that payout amount will allow you to do, purchase. So, and until you get all the way to $1 million in funding is usually what most people are trying for. Now, the thing that I want to say is that I'm not I don't use strategies and methods that are what I consider controlled gambling. I use that phrase a lot. I've just used it for the last few years to describe a lot of what I see on the YouTube channels, which is different strategies on how to pass a challenge in one or two or three trades. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible because I've passed in a really short period of time several times. I just can't do that all the time. And at some point, if that's your strategy, I'm pretty sure everybody's aware that you're likely to blow up the account. Most of the people that have that strategy or apply something like that, where they start off trading 1 or 2% of the account balance on the very first trade, and then if it's a winning trade, they double it or they double the percentage of the account balance, and then if it's a losing trade, they bring it back down, something like that. But at some point, trading like that aggressively, you're likely to blow up the account. And those people don't care They just set aside enough money to be able to come back in and buy another account. Now, I know that this is what a lot of people, I'm not saying everybody does, but I know that that's what a lot of people do because there are some prop firm company owners who have shared this information and they've shared the data of what they see traders doing. So I just want to share with you that there are different ways to pass challenges. But if you're going to use my service, if you're going to spend this much money to copy my trades and you're going to spend that much money to buy a challenge, a prop firm account, I want you to keep it. Like I don't want to blow it up. I'm not going to blow it up and I'm not blowing up my accounts because I don't want to come back in and buy another one. So you can count on that I'm going to consistently trade that account just as if it was my own real money in the account. So if it's $1 million account, I'm going to treat it just like it was my own $1 million. I don't want to blow up the account. I don't want to have a massive drawdown. I don't want to, trade when it's just not a good idea to be trading. There are certain days when it's just too choppy and it's not a good idea to trade. You increase the chances of experiencing large losses in certain conditions. That's all I'm trying to say. So I don't do that. So if you look down here at my refund policy, my guarantee policy is I guarantee I will pass your funded challenge and achieve the evaluation of 10%. This is considering that you're going to take my advice, and that's copy trades. I'm sorry, purchase an account from Lark Funding to copy my trades and pass based on the fact that they allow a trade copier to copy trades from another trader at this point. So at this point in time, Lark Funding is the one. Again, I can't say for sure, and I can't promise that they're never going to change their policies. I have no idea. I have no control over them. Now, the other thing is that I want you to know that you control the leverage or the lot size inside of the trade copier. I recommend starting off small for the first few days just so that you can become familiar with what the trades look like and how the platform works, and then scale up. Then you can start increasing the lot size. And sure, at some point you can start using 1 or 2%. But I recommend doing that when you have equity built up in the account. I don't recommend doing that in the beginning. You can. You honestly can. I can't stop anybody from doing anything with their trading account. That's up to you. I just want to share with you my approach and what I would do and what I've seen successful traders who copy my trades and pass their evaluations, what they do with my trades. This is what they do. They start off with small lot sizing and then they increase it after about a week or so, 4 or 5 days, as long as everything seems to be okay. And then they'll increase or double the lot size and they'll keep doing that. And as long as there's growth in the account, if there's ever, let's say, a losing day, they may scale it back a couple of lot size down and then leave it there until they go back up to where they were. And then it usually takes a day or so. And I can usually replace a loss on the very next trade or two. That's pretty much how it's been for me for a long time. And again, this is how I trade my own personal accounts. So I want you to know that if you're going to be copying my trades to pass your evaluation, I'm going to trade it as if it was my own personal account because that's what I'm doing. When you copy my trades, these trades that I execute actually go into my trading accounts, including my own personal accounts. I have them all linked through the trade copier. So I want you to know that I won't blow up the account, but it's possible that if you use excessive leverage and lot sizing in the very, very beginning, and let's just say I happen to have a loss and it's a 15 pip loss, it's possible, and I've seen people do this, they use such large leverage. Now, 15 pips should not do any damage to anybody's account. I've been trading for a long time, and 15 pips is not a lot. It's okay, it's decent, and it could, sting, but it should not wipe out anybody's trading account. 3 15 pip losses should not wipe out anybody's trading account. But I know that the strategies that are out there on YouTube, they start off with using excessive leverage, like 1%. If you stuck with the 1% and didn't change it, and I had 3 15 pip losses, that could do a lot of damage. So I want you to know that I'm not going to blow up the account, but I'm not going to cover it or refund if somebody's using excessive leverage. You have to be smart with this. I want you to pass and I want you to succeed. And I want you to learn, if you're not familiar with how lot sizing, how it works and how it's going to affect your account. That's what I'm talking about. I'm not talking to people who understand it. I'm sorry if you already, are way past all of this. But there are a lot of people out there that ask me, and they tell me I have no idea what lot size to use. I don't even know where to start. And yet they still want to buy a funded challenge and they want to copy somebody's trades and they're in control of the lot size. And that kind of scares me that somebody would come in that would be so new and so inexperienced and then start using leverage and lot size that just doesn't make any sense. Yeah, I've seen it happen and people do it. And then they get mad at me and they say that I blew up the account if I have a loss of 15 pips. And that's not covered. I would not cover that because that's ridiculous and that's just not fair. That doesn't make any sense. And it's just not right. Nobody should be thinking in those terms. So again, even if you want to use the 1% method that you see on some of the YouTube videos, it makes sense in a certain way at a certain time. It makes sense to use a strategy like that. And I actually suggest doing that. You can switch from a fixed lot size inside of my trade copier. You can switch it. At one point, when you build up enough equity from copying my trades, you can switch to a percentage of the account and then do a series. So within 2 or 3 trades, it's very, very possible that you could end up passing your challenge just like that towards the end, but just not at the beginning. That's both are a possibility. You can't say which one it's going to be. But again, nobody knows what tomorrow is going to be like. We can see and try to predict for the most part based on, the best case technical analysis scenarios, but for the most part, anything can happen. And we all know that. It's all probabilities. So just take a very smart approach when you use the trade copier. Start off small. There's no hurry because if you use Lark funding, they don't have a time limit. You can pass and hit that 10% target in 6 months if you want to. I'm not saying that you should and that everybody will. All I'm saying is that it'll give you some time so that you can start off using, if you're not familiar with what lot sizing does, start off with small lot size, like really small. Just just see what happens with that small lot size after a trade or two or a couple of days, and then double it and increase it. And then sit back and look at a few days worth of those trades when the trade copier is copying my trades, and then start to increase it. So again, if I personally blow up my own trading account, then I know it's going to blow up everybody else's account. And that's what I'm avoiding. And that's what I'm using as a gauge. I'm not going to blow up my trading account. I don't have this gambling or controlled gambling mentality or strategy like a lot of other people on YouTube where they're trying to pass in 2 or 3 trades or in a couple of weeks. And then what happens once they get to that passing point, if they still have to continue to trade until the end of the 30-day cycle, they just trade or execute a 0.01 lot size until they get to the end. They open and close the trade. So it's just a few pennies on every trade. And then they wait for their payout. And they just continue to perform that way until at some point they blow up the account. But then they have to go back in and they have to buy a brand new account. They have to buy, whatever it is. Like if it's $1 million account, that's $7,000 with a lot of these prop firms. A $500,000 account is like $3,500, $3,500. That's a lot of money. If I do that, and you copy my trades, and then at some point we all make money, but then eventually I blow it up, you're going to have to go back in and buy another account. So I don't do that. It's just not my strategy. I know that it can work, and I know that it works for a lot of people, and I'm not knocking it at all because some people are okay with that kind of lifestyle. But I know that if you're buying these accounts, you don't want me to blow up the trading account. I'm not going to blow up the trading account. So if you follow my advice, you should be okay. You'll pass your targets, your 10% target on your evaluation. And you'll also notice that by doing this, starting off small and not using excessive leverage, you will be able to increase the lot size and the leverage a lot more uh, closer as you get closer to the 10% target. So it's almost like that compounding effect. You're going to build up the account a lot bigger and a lot faster towards the end. And then once you get your live funded account, once you pass, now at that point, now you know what leverage does. Now you know what lot size does. You know what it means when you use this size lot size and that size lot size. You can compare the two. You know what to do once you get your live funded account, and you're not still testing at that point. You've actually gone through the cycle and the process of learning what it does to the account when I do have a loss and when there is a winning streak. So let me show you quickly. I made a video on this a couple of weeks ago. This is a subscriber's account, and this is what I don't recommend that you do. Somebody bought my trade copier service, and they executed all these trades that you see. There's only 4 trades that were mine. It was pretty bad. This individual was executing their own trades, and in 2 days they blew up their account. I had nothing to do with blowing up their account. My trades were winning trades. They traded the NASDAQ, the S&P, and the US 30. Now, I'm going to be trading the US 30 in the next week or so, and the S&P with the trade copier. So you'll be able to copy my trades, and there's going to be more trading opportunities. I just recently added gold to the trades with the trade copier. So that's going to make more trading opportunities, which means that there are times when Forex just kind of isn't producing anything, and there may be an opportunity with these indices or gold, for example. But anyway, what I want to point out is don't do this. This is what I'm talking about, using either excessive leverage, and if you have some losses, you can see that there's quite a few losses here from this individual. I did not execute these trades. This individual did, because you can execute trades at the same time that you're copying my trades. But this individual was executing all of these trades really fast, never, even with the loss, never even considered to change or adjust the lot sizing. Never even considered it. And he had control of all of the lot size, including mine. He decided to use a 0.10 lot size on the euro dollar trade, but he continued to hammer away at this, even though he experienced losses all the way until he blew up the account and he was disqualified because he breached the drawdown limit. Don't do this. Don't do that. Remember, if there's winning trades, you can continue to increase the lot size. I recommend that. Keep an eye on it. If I have a losing day, you might want to bring it back down, let's say half of the normal size that you would put on, just to make sure it's not going to be a losing streak. I don't usually have them, but just to make sure, you don't know for sure, right? You want to protect your capital. I'm trying to share some strategies about what I would do if I was you or if I was starting off brand new and I didn't know too much about it, but I wanted to protect my account. So again, when you're copying somebody else's trades, you want to be somewhat protective. You have no idea what's going to happen. And this is a good strategy. Bring it back down a little bit, the lot sizing, if there's a losing day. And then watch the day after that to see if it was a winning day. If there was a winning day, then you might want to leave it until the day after that. And then you could increase it if that's a winning day. Or if it's, if there's a losing day and then the next day is a winning day, if you want, you can go ahead and increase it. But I would increase it carefully. I would be always considering the risks associated to trading and the possibility of blowing up my account, and I would want to stay far away from it. So don't do this. Don't do this. This is totally avoidable. Not all of my subscribers do this, but I would say that quite a few of them do. They watch a lot of YouTube videos. They have a lot of different ideas about how to pass challenges. They want to pass all in 1 or 2 or 3 days. A lot of them desperately need money. There's just all kinds of reasons why this kind of behavior happens. And again, I feel sorry for people that do this. I used to trade like this. When I first started trading, I did stuff like this. Like this was my behavior. I was an idiot. I didn't know what to do. And it takes experiencing this process until you actually know what not to do and what to do right more consistently. So please don't do that. You have complete control over the lot sizing. And again, on my website, it just simply says that I will not blow up the trading account. But if you use excessive leverage and lot sizing, you do it, I'm not going to cover that. Like, that's not fair. So don't do it. Don't do that. Remember, we're all here together to pass these challenges and to keep these accounts live and active for as long as these funding companies are going to remain in business and as long as they'll continue to pay us. And what they want is to see consistent traders. Funding companies don't want to see this kind of behavior. They don't want to back a trader that trades that way. And I don't trade that way. So again, you don't want to do that either. That's just not good. It's not good for the funding company. It's not good for you. And I don't trade that way. So don't do that. Like I know that you want to pass the 10% challenge. I do too. I want to hit 10% every month. I'd love to. Sometimes I can, sometimes I can't. Sometimes I go way beyond 10% a month. It just depends on the market. Whatever the case is, my first number one responsibility always is to protect the capital in the account. And that means on certain days that I might just have to stay out of the way. So again, please be very, very careful. Consider this information. Again, this is not the only way to pass challenges. You can pass challenges with this aggressive 1 or 2% approach. It can be done, but it just can't be done consistently, in my opinion. And I don't trade that way. And I'm pretty sure you don't want me to do that to your accounts either. So again, you can sign up right now with the compounder, which is just to connect one trading account and then pass your challenge, or use the challenger and you can connect two trading accounts simultaneously, pass them at the same time, and you'll probably get, depending on the size of the account, double the normal payouts that you would see if you just had simply one account. And then you could get to the $1 million account a lot faster. If you have any questions, please send me an email.